Hello, my name is Dan McDuff and I'm here today to talk to you about the importance of a company's ident. So the ident logo is important for a company's business marketing because it's kind of its major graphical representation, and a human will find it easier to represent something and think of something as an image before they think of it as a word. So you're more likely to see an image before you see a logo, some text. So you've got to make the image as memorizable as possible. You've got to make it mean as much as possible in that one little image. Because obviously it can't be too overcomplicated, but it's also got to represent something in whatever it might be. So a logo kind of anchors a company's brand. It's what makes it most known. For example, you're not going to have your name of the company necessarily be the most known thing about it. If someone sees your logo, they're more likely to know your company than if they see your name if they're not so familiar with the company. So, making an important logo is key to a company, because if you have the right logo, then people will recognise your company, especially within your target audience. So a logo is kind of like a shorthand to write the text of a company in any sort of advertising or branding you might be doing for your company. So for example, the company that we're kind of representing is Ancoder Media, but also Ancoder Technologies Ltd is the full name of the company. Therefore, it's much easier just to have our little logo there than having the whole text put everywhere that we need it. A good logo is also immediately identifiable, so being able to make a good, quickly recognisable logo that represents something that is to do with the company is going to be key for making the audience immediately associate the company with the ident. So some mistakes you can run into when making a logo is one, to use a low resolution image. So if you're using a low resolution image, then that's not necessarily going. Obviously, you can't use it to remake something, because if you do, the low resolution isn't going to help you to reproduce anything you're trying to do. And you also can't use it at any sizable area, for example, on a poster or to fill up the entire screen of a video. So another thing is it shouldn't really follow any gimmicks or something that's in with the times. It needs to be something timeless, something that will always be representable, because then you'll always be able to use it. You won't ever have to change it to go with the next big thing. I mean, you can change your ident depending on what you're using it for. For example, with Disney, with their Tron Legacy version of their ident, they made it appear like it was being generated by a computer CPU in a modelling program, which fit it with the film. However, it's still the same ident we always see, just designed a little differently. So another thing you should do is keep things minimalistic, because if you make an ident or a logo too overcomplicated, then things, when you're producing it, anything that's too small is going to come out maybe even looking like a mistake. And also, having everything minimalistic means, once again, it's easily recognisable. You don't have to look at it and look at every little detail of it, it's just kind of there. And if you try and overcomplicate something, it's not going to look good small, it's not necessarily going to look good big, and it's just kind of going to become it's going to become too overcomplicated for its purpose. So another thing is poor choice of font. I mean, you're not going to use Comic Sans for a logo, obviously, so you don't want to use the wrong font for your logo, because the font is still kind of the theme of the logo. You've got to have it matching what your theme of your ident and logo is. So if you're a media group, you're going to want to keep a simple sort of looking logo, maybe something that looks a little bit tech-like, but you don't, for example, you wouldn't want to use Jokerman or kind of anything that kind of had horror implementations. You could use that if you were a company that only makes horror films, but if not, then that's obviously not a sort of font you would use, like, I don't know, a blood-stained or a glitchy font. And of course, you must always be original. The main point of a business is to be original and make its own thing and stand out from the crowd. So if you're using someone else's logo or using ideas from someone else's logo, that's not necessarily going to come across as the best design choice, because it's not original and it's not yours. So in the end, when it came to producing our logo, we thought the name Ancoder we could fit all into one font, and it has been shown at the beginning, but I'll show it again here. So we thought if we could design it all into one little logo, one little square, it would look really nice, because it would be the idea of all-in-one that we were looking for. We wanted our logo to represent everything being all combined down into one, and putting all the text, or all the letters, all into one image made it look really, really nice. The other thing is that the text isn't actually immediately identifiable when you look at the logo, so it still looks more like an image than text, but it still actually kind of represents the idea we were going for. The other thing is it does actually kind of look like it's based around computing, because you've got all the different lines kind of flowing across, and so therefore it kind of actually fits exactly what we're going for, which is kind of a media computing technology company, and so it worked together really nicely.